Well, Salt Lake City Police Department is apologizing after an officer arrested a nurse who was really just following hospital protocol.
Yeah, the thing is, the nurse refused to allow the officer to draw blood from an unconscious crash victim without legal consent. This is tough to watch, folks. Our Dan Simon has what happened next when that arresting officer suddenly became angry. He is live for us here. So the first thing I think a lot of people think is the nurse taking legal action.
You know, Christy, when you look at that video, I think a lot of people think, you know, that is a lawsuit waiting to happen. But I have to tell you that the nurse right now is holding off. Right now, she's satisfied with the apology that she's gotten from the Salt Lake City Police Department. She has worked at the University of Utah Hospital for 8 years. And before that, she was an Olympic alpine skier. And of course, to be an Olympic athlete, you got to have some mental toughness. And what you see in that video, she is not afraid to stand up to that police officer who she says is trying to obtain blood without going through the proper channels.
The disturbing video comes from the inside of an emergency room, and the woman screaming, a burn unit nurse who is being arrested by a Salt Lake City police officer.
Please, sir, you're hurting. Then walk.
The incident, captured by police and hospital cameras, happened in July. But now the district attorney says he wants a criminal investigation.
If she doesn't, Salt Lake City Police.
University of Utah nurse Alex Wubbles says she was just doing her job, following hospital protocol by refusing to let police take a blood sample from an unconscious patient.
Is this patient under arrest?
Nope.
Wubbles says Detective Jeff Payne demanded a blood sample from a car crash victim who was in a coma and severely burned. His truck smashed by a car racing from police, according to local media. Wubbles calmly explains the policy for obtaining blood.
The three things that allow us to do that are if you have an electronic warrant, patient consent, or patient under arrest. And neither of those things, the patient can't consent.
She even gets her supervisor on the phone, who backs her up. The tension only escalates.
She's the one that has told me no.
Yeah, but sir, you're making a huge mistake right now.
Okay.
You're making a huge mistake because you're threatening a nurse.
Okay. No, we're done. We're done. You're under arrest. We're going. We're done.
Salt Lake City's police chief apologized and said what happened was unacceptable.
I was alarmed by what I saw in the video. I want to be very clear. We take this very seriously.
For now, Wubbles isn't filing a lawsuit.
I feel very strongly in giving people the benefit of the doubt. And I truly believe that he was honest in his apology and sincere in his willingness to try and make change and make things better.
Police released Wubbles without charges that day after she sat in the police car for 20 minutes. Detective Payne said in a written report that his watch commander advised him to arrest the nurse for interfering with a police investigation. Payne and another officer now on administrative leave as internal investigators look into this startling incident.
And the mayor of Salt Lake has also apologized. The bottom line here is the nurse, Alex Wubbles, says she was just trying to do the right thing, trying to follow the proper policy. And really, the law is on her side. The Supreme Court has ruled in the past that if you want to obtain blood, you need to get a warrant, or of course, you need to have patient permission. As for the officer in this case who was involved, efforts to reach him or his legal representative thus far have been unsuccessful. Victor and Christy?
All right. Dan Simon, thank you so much for bringing us that story. It is something else.